So like I said again, I'm Miss Keela. I'm one of the children's librarians for Santa Clara County Library. You'll usually see me at the Cupertino Library. And right now I'm getting ready, getting everything digitally set up so that I can broadcast my Summer Art Club program to you all, where we're going to be learning how to reuse grocery bags and weave them into paper baskets. All right, I think we're ready to go now. Okay, so once again, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, I'm Miss Keela. I'm one of the children's librarians for Santa Clara County Library. You'll usually see me at Cupertino Library. And I'm so excited to be here with you today for our third Summer Art Club program. Today, we're going to be learning how to reuse paper grocery bags to weave baskets. So now, some of you, oh, hello there. Okay, so some of you are watching this demo live on Zoom. Hi. And so just a heads up, you can't turn on your video or your microphone because we're using this software called Zoom Webinar. But if you have any questions, please type them into the Q&A section. Others of you are watching from our Facebook page. So welcome, Facebook watchers. For you, type in your questions into the comment section and my co-host can respond to you. So.
And you already have a question.
Oh, I already have a question.
You do.
What's my question? I have only 5 grocery bags. That is way more than you need, actually. So you're good. You're good. No worries. So for this craft, you actually only need 1 grocery bag, but I suggested multiple grocery bags in case we mess up. So we'll have extra. All right. So first things first, let me share my screen with you so I can put up our supply list, because I know some of you who are watching on Facebook, you might just have just passed by and like, what is this? And so let me give you the supply list so you can run and grab some of those. All right, share. All right, so once again, this is our virtual summer 2020 Dig Deeper at Your Library Kids Art Club. And today's project, we are going to be making woven baskets from grocery bags. Move to the next slide. Once again, you are in a Zoom webinar, so you don't have access to your microphone or your video, but go ahead and just type in your questions in the Q&A section, and Facebook watchers, go ahead and type your questions into the comments. So here are the supplies needed. So supplies needed are paper grocery bags, the big ones that you'll get at the grocery store, scissors, ruler, tape, pencil or pen, and optional Sharpie or markers to decorate. So Sharpie and markers, those are optional. But if you really want to, get into like customizing your paper grocery bags, then I suggest a Sharpie or marker because I was doing it with pen and it was a little too light. All right. So, oh, I forgot to introduce my co-host. Okay, so everybody, if you look to probably above you, you should see me, Keela, and then you'll see Tamara, Miss Tamara, and then next to her, you'll see Miss Holly, and they are my co-hosts for today. So they'll be responding to questions. All right, so, and I also want to say, we all thank you so much for being here, and we really, really miss seeing you in the library, but we're really excited to share some art ideas with you virtually. So, okay, so let me see. Okay. The theme for this year's summer reading program is Dig Deeper at Your Library. So for this program, I wanted to dig into reusing materials that we use at home and all the cool, useful things that we can make from common household items. So I figured we all have grocery bags at home, right? And something really useful are baskets that we can use to like organize our pens, our stickers, our toys, our face masks, our doodads, whatever you want. So we can decorate the paper that we choose. We could choose different colors of paper to customize our baskets. We can modify the weave with more or with fewer strips to make bigger baskets or smaller baskets. You could add a handle if you want. The world is really your oyster, or in this case, your basket. So the inspiration for today's program are the woven baskets that you'll see in different cultures from all around the world. People have been making baskets for thousands of years. And so I actually have a poll question for you, which I'm going to launch right now. And I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think? What are some things people would use to make baskets? And you can choose multiple answers if you want. But what do you think?
All the pages in the workroom, all the pages in the workroom.
What are some things people would use to make baskets? And we're getting the responses in. We got 64% of the vote so far. So what do we think? Remember, you can choose multiple answers if you want. All right, I'm going to let you guys see if you can answer this question. There we go. Okay, we are at 83% of the vote. And, ooh, nice. All right, so I'm going to end this poll now. And I'm going to share the results with you. So it looks like 79% vote for baskets made out of twigs, 52% say grass, 48% say plants, and 48% say palm leaves. So the answer is, you are all right. Traditionally, people would make them from grasses, rushes, plants, and twigs, and they would braid them or weave them, coil them, or twine them into different baskets. So this is a page from the book Bowls and Boxes, Craft Ideas from Around the World by Anne Savardi. And it shows baskets that have been made by weaving, braiding, coiling, and twining. And they make all these different cool shapes. Like we have one that's one over here that's nice and round with a lid. And then you even have one over here that's a cow. Isn't that so cool that you can make a cow out of weaving? But today, we're going to keep it simple. So today, what we're going to do is we're just going to make a square basket using strips of paper. All right. So once again, supply list. Hopefully, you've all gotten your supplies by now. So now we're going to start our craft, okay? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm going to put the mouse aside. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with a paper grocery bag like this. And hold on. Let me stop screen sharing so I can make this bigger. Okay, is that nice and big now? Hopefully. All right.
Looks good, Keela. You're doing great.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open up this bag. So we got the bottom of the bag, yes? So it's glued down. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel up the paper where the glue is. So peel up the seam. Okay. Like that. And then peel up this side. Ooh, some of the glue is really strong. Okay, so. And then what we're going to do is pull it down. Following the seams of the bag. Okay, so you got it open? All right. So So now you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut the bottom off. Okay? So let's cut the bottom off. Right, get rid of the bottom. Now we have a nice clean cut right there. Then what you're going to do, take the handles off. Okay, I'm going to save the handles because I might want to add a handle to my basket later. Then you're going to see where it's glued again. There's another seam here. So I'm just going to open it at the seam. And it's okay if it's not even. It's okay if the paper rips in a weird spot. It's okay because we're going to cut this into strips. So don't worry. It's going to be okay. So then you're going to open up your paper. And now here's the optional part. And here's the really fun part is where you can customize it by adding some designs. So for example, one design that I really like is adding some diagonal lines. And
Hey, Keela, can you slow down just a little bit?
Oh, okay.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so we've opened up our paper. And so here's where, if you watched our art program last week, we did Zentangling, right? So we learned all these different like doodling techniques. And so this is one pattern that I really like. It's super simple.
Some of the patrons aren't done opening their bag yet.
Oh, okay, no problem. So
yeah,
while you guys are opening your bag, don't worry. So I'm just gonna be here doodling, okay? So this part is totally optional. So I have done baskets where it's completely plain. So for example, this one is just plain paper. I didn't add any designs to it. And then I have another basket here that's filled with math. And then I added some diagonal lines. I added some curvy lines. I added some polka dots. So
some of the patrons
really whatever you want.
Some of the patrons want you to start at when opening the bag again.
Oh, okay, sure, no problem. So that's why I have many bags. So, all right, I have so many bags. I've gone to the grocery store so many times. Okay, so the last time I went to the grocery store, I think I spent like $300. So I had like 6 grocery bags full of groceries. Okay, handles, put aside. All right, so I'm gonna open up the bottom, okay? So there's glue right here. So I'm gonna have to peel it apart. And just peel it apart. All right, and then open up this side. Okay, so opened up my bottom, right, of the bag. So, and then I'm just gonna pull this and then pull it out. Pull this part straight, following the seam of the bag. Okay, so now I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to cut this part off. That aside, because I don't need that. All right. Right here, I'm going to open up the bag. You could also use scissors and just cut this up if you want. So I'll just use scissors this time. Cut along the seam right here. And then your bag will open. All right. So now that we have our open bag, you can add some designs, some patterns to give your basket your own custom look. So, like I said, we could do diagonal lines. You could do stars. So let's maybe add a bunch of stars here. And I'm going to put stars all along this panel. So your paper bag will naturally have panels to it where the folds are. So pretend that this is one panel where the fold is. So I'm going to put stars all over this panel right here. Ms. Holly, are there any other questions?
Not at this moment. I think everybody probably has their bag open, and so they should have kind of like a big rectangular piece of
brown paper. Yeah.
Brown paper. And so you drawing is good because maybe people are just catching up right now. But no questions.
All right. Okay. All right. So for your designs, I do recommend that you keep every piece kind of close together, because when you cut it into strips, like for example, if I have a star here and a star here, and then I cut it into strips, I'm going to have one little lonely star on this strip and one little lonely star on this strip. So
can you repeat that a little slower?
Yes. So when you're doing your patterns or your designs, I recommend keeping each little element kind of close together. So for example, like here I have all these stars and they're kind of close together. But if I just had one star here and one star over here, and then I cut it into strips, you're going to have one little lonely star on this strip and one little lonely star on this strip. So you want to have lots of stars, yes? So make sure you have lots of stars and keep them kind of close together. Also for your pattern, I recommend doing something a little bit repetitive. So it's kind of a soothing, a soothing thing for while we're sheltering in place, right? Just doing a nice repetitive pattern. And the reason I recommend doing that is because, for example, if I did like a smiley face, and then I cut this into strips, then I cut my smiley face into strips, and he won't be smiling anymore. So that's why I recommend just doing kind of a nice little pattern. Keep the pieces or the elements of that pattern close together. And I'm going to make him starry-eyed. All right. All right. So I've got stars on this panel, yes? And then on this panel over here, I guess I'm going to do some curvy lines. Okay. So this one was inspired by the Zentangle episode that we did last week, where Miss Diane taught us how to do a half moon. And so this is kind of a play on a half moon. So we're going to do these kind of curvy lines. And then I'm going to start some more curvy lines. How about on this side? So here is another panel. You can see the creases of the bag. They just naturally define a panel for you. So I'm going to do some more curvy lines over here. And then maybe some curvy lines over here. And maybe some more curvy lines right here. But feel free to do whatever pattern you want. Okay, maybe more right here. Maybe some more curvy lines on this side. And again, like I said, this part, adding the little patterns, the little graphics, this is totally optional. You can just make a basket using plain paper, and that looks really beautiful too. Okay, some curvy lines here. And don't worry if, you know, like, if you're like, oh, I messed up. Don't worry, nobody's going to be able to tell because we're going to cut these into strips. So you really will not be able to tell. So don't have to be perfect. Okay, so
Somebody asked a really good question. Can we do this with regular paper?
Yes, you can. So the reason I'm using grocery bags is because I have so many grocery bags. So literally I think I have over 24 grocery bags just from various trips to the grocery store. So, and I'm guessing a lot of you also have a lot of grocery bags too. So that's why we're using this paper, but feel free to use any other paper as well. So in fact, yeah, using different colored paper, you can make some really cool patterns. So, okay, so I've got stars, I've got curvy lines here. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out some strips, okay? So we're gonna cut out the strips that will make up our basket. So I recommend rotating your paper this way, so it's horizontal to you. And
some of the kids aren't done with their design yet.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, so how about, I'll do one more design. Okay, so one more option that you could do. Okay, so you could do polka dots. You could also do some swirls like this. Kind of reminds me of like Grecian art and like Percy Jackson and the Olympians and that. So, okay, do a couple of swirls, and then we're just gonna cover up this panel, okay? So, all right, and like I said, does not have to be perfect. Don't worry if like lines cross or like you've got an uneven line or something. It's okay. It just makes your basket your own basket. So it's your own unique basket. And this is your own unique design. Maybe I'll do some swirls going in the other direction. A little swirl there. And then remember, you could also keep it plain if you want. And you'll have, you know, a beautiful, like, minimalist basket. Okay, so got some swirls going on here. I've got some curves going on here. I've got some stars going on here. So just whatever you want, whatever kind of pattern you want. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting these into strips, okay? So don't worry if you're not done with your pattern yet, because cutting this into strips does take a while. So, okay, so orient your paper so that it is horizontal to you. And what you could do is you can take a ruler and you can mark 1 inch, 1 inch increments up the side of the paper, 1 inch increments up the side of the paper, and then connect them using your ruler. However, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do kind of a lazy technique.
Can you please
more
go
like,
slower and repeat that?
oh, okay. So what you can do is, if you want to be super accurate, you can take your ruler and mark 1 inch increments up the paper. So mark here, 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 every 1 inch. And then up here, every 1 inch on this side, and then connect the dots so that you'll get 1 inch strips. However, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is kind of like a down and dirty, fast way of making 1 inch strips. So what you're going to do is take your paper and you're going to fold it up to this first crease mark right here. So you see where there's a crease right there? Take your paper, fold it up to that crease. And make a nice fold. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper again. You're going to fold it not all the way up, kind of like halfway up. So it looks like this is one half, this is the other half, right? About the same distance. And crease it. Make a nice fold right there. Okay? So this one and this one should be about the same width. But if it's not, don't worry about it. So all we're doing is we're making strips. So
repeat that, Keela.
yes. All right. So let's do that again. Okay. So you see the first hinge here? Fold in half. And then take this edge and you're going to fold it about halfway up. So this width and this width are about the same. All right. So now take a pen or a pencil. I'm going to take a pen so that you can see it, but I recommend for you to just take a pencil so that it's lighter and you don't see the lines. So take your pencil and drag it along this edge here. So use this edge as your ruler, basically. And then when you open it, you'll see you have your line here. You'll also see you have a crease right here. So what you're going to do, take your pencil and run your pencil into the crease. Just let it drag along the crease. And there you go. You've got 2 lines. And they look pretty straight. They're not exactly straight, but they're pretty straight. And if you'll notice, they're also about 1 inch wide or 1 inch apart. So your strips are about 1 inch wide. So that's like the down and dirty version of getting 1 inch strips. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut along this crease right here. Okay, so I'm going to cut right along there. All right, so I got my paper here. I've got my 2 lines right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut along these lines. Okay, hold your paper where you're cutting to keep it steady. Okay. So just cut along those lines. And, oh, see, that's not quite right. So I'm just going to cut that off there. All right. And then I'm opening up the paper. So originally it looked like this, right? So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to cut along this crease right here. All right, and then if I flip these over, you'll see I have strips of paper approximately 1 inch wide, and they've got my pretty star design right there. All right, so I'm gonna put these aside. So I've got 6 strips, but I need a couple more. So bringing this paper back, once again, flip it horizontal to you. We're gonna fold it in half. And then we're gonna take this bottom edge, fold it up about halfway. All right, just like we did before. So this and this width are about the same, and they're about 1 inch. So now I'm gonna take my pencil, I'm gonna drag it along this edge, using it like my ruler. Then I'm gonna open this up, and I'm gonna drag my pencil along the crease. Just follow that crease. And then you'll have 2 lines that are about 1 inch apart, nice and parallel to each other. All right, then open up your bag. We're gonna cut right along this crease here.
Keela, we've had a question on Facebook about how many strips do you think?
You're going to need about 18 strips. So we're going to do this one, and then we're going to do it one more time. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. So fold it in half again and cut along these lines here. And it does not have to be perfect. It will be okay. So that's one of the beautiful things about weaving, is that weaving, it just like hides those imperfections. All right, and then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to cut along this center crease right here. All right, so now I've got my curvy strips here, yes? All right, we're gonna do that one more time, okay? So, all right, let me grab. All right, so let's do a plain one actually. Okay, so this one I have not decorated at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half up to this crease, right? So there's a crease right here. I'm going to fold it up to that crease. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it about halfway up. And then really like crease it. I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to run it along this top edge right here. Pretend it's my ruler. And I'm going to open it up. Run it along that edge, or sorry, this crease right here. So I'll have, once again, I'll have 2 lines approximately 1 inch apart, not quite. Some are a little thicker, some are a little thinner. again, it's okay. So now I'm going to cut this off right here.
I think the kids are, they're not cutting as fast as you are, so
Okay.
just letting you know.
All right, so I'm just gonna cut this off right along that crease. Put this aside. All right, and now, once again, I'm gonna cut along this line and cut along this line. Okay, hold the paper steady in your hand. Right, and then open it up, and then we're gonna cut right along this crease here.
Do you have to have that maximum amount of strips? We have some patrons who only have maybe 11 or 12. Can you do it with less strips?
Yes, you can do it with less strips. I would say, yes, you can do it with less strips. Your basket might be a little bit smaller. So I'll show you how to do a small basket, and I'll show you how to do a large basket. But for this one right here, for example, I did use, I think I used, I want to say I used 8 plus 8. So I think I might have used maybe 14 strips for this one. And then for this one, this little guy over here, which is 3 strips wide, I would say I use, so 3 and then 3. I think I used maybe 10 for this one. So 10 or 11 for this one. So you guys are perfect. All right. So now we have a selection of strips of paper. And so once again, like I said, you don't have to do designs on the strips if you don't want to. If you want, you can keep them plain like this. So the plain one, it'll come out. So this one, I use a mixture of plain and polka dotted ones. And then this one here is just, it's plain, but I'm using the texture or the print of the bag to add some color to it. And also feel free to use different colors. You know, you don't have to use black. You could use, you know, like the whole rainbow of colors if you want. And then also, yes, feel free to use different colored bags as well, or different colored paper. And then you'll get some really beautiful designs that way. Okay, so now what is weaving? Okay, I realized I didn't go into this yet. What is weaving? So weaving is the craft of forming fabric by interlacing or crisscrossing different threads or elements. So to crisscross, what I mean is like you go like this. So this one, they're just kind of laying on top of each other. So that's not really a fabric, right? It doesn't like hold together. To crisscross it, what you need is you need to have threads that go over and under other threads. So don't worry, I'm just talking while you guys cut, basically. So weaving means to crisscross your different threads or your different elements by flipping some under and flipping some over. So we're going to go under and over using our strips. Okay, so, all right. Let's start with a small basket, shall we? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 strips of paper and line them up in front of me. So I'm going to take my 3 starry strips of paper. Now, if you did do a design, what you have to do is turn it over so that your design is facing the table. This will make your design go on the outside. Okay, and then I'm going to take 3 other strips of paper. I
Hey,
could use
Keela.
my star. Yes?
This would be a good opportunity to remind everybody that this is being recorded. So you guys can all watch this over again if you guys need to. We have about maybe another 20 minutes of the program, so you need to push forward to complete a basket. But just remind folks at home that they can watch it later, because some people haven't caught up with you, so they're just a little bit concerned.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, like Miss Holly was saying, this video is going to be saved on the Santa Clara County Library Facebook page. So if you go to the Santa Clara Library Facebook page, to videos, and if you click on videos, you'll see all the different art programs and the videos from the different art programs there, and you're going to find this one there as well. So don't worry, you can rewatch and make your basket or finish your basket using the video if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to use these curvy lines for my second bunch of strips. So I've got a bunch of curvy line strips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and just temporarily lay them on top. So this is not woven, this is just laying them on top just to see where they should be. So they should be kind of centered in the middle of the other strips. So kind of center them in there. And so you see, oh, this is about where they're centered. It's not way up here, not way down here. No, you want them kind of in the center. Does not have to be accurate, but about the center. Then what you're going to do is we're going to weave them, okay? So I'm going to put these aside for a second. And to weave them, I'm going to hold where they're laying on top of each other here. I'm just going to put my fingers here to hold it in place. Lift this up. Use my other finger to hold it. I'm going to lift this strip up. And then I'm going to drop that one. And then drop this one. Okay. So now I have a strip of paper that is going underneath the middle strip right here. So I have one horizontal strip and it's going underneath the vertical strip. Now I'm going to take my second piece of paper, my second strip, and I need it to do the opposite. So I need it to go underneath the 2 outer strips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 fingers and I'm going to hold it right here in the middle. And I'm going to lift this up. Use my finger to hold that in place. Lift up this strip. And I'm going to drop it and drop this one. And if they break apart like that, that's okay, because we can just shift them together. Now I need to do this side. So I'm going to take my 2 fingers and I'll lift up this strip here. Lift up this one. Drop this into place. And drop this one into place. Okay, so now I have a horizontal strip and it's going underneath these 2 outer strips All right, now I'm gonna take my third strip, and it needs to do the opposite of the one above it. So this one, it needs to go above this one, and then, or sorry, it needs to go under this one. So laying it right there. I'm gonna take my 2 fingers, hold it, lift this up. Use my finger to hold it up. I'm gonna lift up the middle strip, drop this one into place, and then drop the middle strip into place. All right, and so now I've made the base of my basket. And you might be like, what? Okay, don't worry, we're gonna do it one more time. Okay, we're gonna do this one more time. All right. So, all right, so what you're gonna do, take your strips of paper. So again, if you did a pattern on it, you need to flip it over. So that way your pattern is gonna be on the outside. And I'm gonna take my other 3 strips of paper. And these ones have like a curvy lined design on them. So I want my design to be on the outside. So I need to flip these over. And then I'm going to kind of center them so that they cross in their centers. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be about in the center. Okay, so now I know they're about in the center here. So I'm gonna take these 2 bottom ones away, put them aside. And now, okay, I'm gonna weave. So I'm gonna put my fingers here, lift this up. Then I'm gonna lift up this one, drop this into place, and then drop this one into place. Okay, first strip. Now here's my second strip. So it needs to do the opposite of the first one. So whereas this one is going underneath the middle strip, the second one needs to go underneath the outer strip. So what I'm gonna do, lay it here. I'm gonna put my 2 fingers right here in the center. Lift this up. Lift this one up. Drop it. And then drop this one over the top of it. Okay, and now I'm gonna pull down here. Lift up this side. Lift up this side. Drop it. And then drop this one over it. So now I have a strip of paper, a horizontal strip that's going underneath this one and this one, the 2 outer strips. Okay, and again, it's okay if it like shifts around. All we're gonna do is we're gonna just shift them back. All right, now what we're gonna do, take your third strip, and it has to do the opposite of the one next to it. So it's gonna go underneath the middle strip here. So I'm gonna lay this right next to the strip above it. I'm gonna put my finger here to hold it in place. Lift it up. Lift the middle strip up. Drop this into place and drop the middle strip into place. And then again, it's probably shifted around a lot, right? That's okay. Just shift them back. Just like scooch them back next to each other. Okay, so this square here is your base. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sides of it. So to do the sides of it, first off, I'm going to need to make these strips longer because I don't think that they're long enough to go all the way straight. Are they long enough to go all the way around? Let me see. Not quite. So I'm going to take 2 strips of paper and I'm going to tape them together. So I get 1 long strip of paper. So here's where tape really comes in handy. All right, so let's tape these 2 together. Okay, so now I got 1 long strip of paper here. Yes? Okay, this is going to be one of the sides of your basket. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to do that 2 more times. Okay, so again, I'm going to take 2 strips and then tape them together so that I get 1 long strip. Okay, and here's my second super long strip of paper. All right, and then I'm going to take 2 more strips of paper and tape them together at the ends. Okay, so again, a third super long strip of paper. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to mark these out so that they form the walls. So what do I mean by mark them out? So what you're going to do, take 1 strip of paper, one of your super long strips, and lay it next to the corner of the base of your basket. Slide that down right there. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take your pencil and you're going to mark this corner right here. So why am I doing that? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the width of the basket by taking my piece of paper, laying it next to the base of the basket, and marking the corner. So like this is one corner and this is the other corner right here. So you probably can't see that because it's pencil. Use pen. So there's the corner. And then I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to mark where the other corner is. So here's the first corner here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this corner right here. Then rotate this strip again. Put the dot where the corner is on your base. And then mark the other corner. I'm going to do that one more time. Rotate that strip of paper. Lay it so that the dot is at the corner of the base of your basket. And then mark the next corner that goes up right here. And then we're back at the beginning. So why did I do that? Why did I mark where the corners were? So I did that so I can do this. What you're going to do is put your thumb where the corner dot is. Fold the strip of paper over. And so you see the crease, it's running right next to that corner dot. So I'm going to do it on the other side of, or the next dot as well. So put your thumb where the dot is, then fold the paper over and make a crease. Open it up. Okay, thumb where the dot is, fold it over. All right, thumb where the dot is and fold it over. All right, so okay, so now what you should have is you should have a long strip of paper that's folded where that corner dot is, fold it again where the next corner dot is, fold it at the third corner, and fold it at the fourth corner. And then this is where the magic happens. Turn it over and line this edge up with this crease right here. And then make the square. Can you see the square? Okay, make a square. All right. So once again, fold it, fold it, fold it here at this corner, fold it at the last corner, and then when you open it up, it'll just naturally make this square. But it's a square with a really long tail, and I don't want the long tail. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the tail off. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to just cut that off. Then you're just going to tape this in place. And tape it in place on the inside. So right here where this edge is, you're just going to tape that one. All right. So now I have a little square and it fits perfectly over the base of the basket. Okay. So I'm going to do that 2 more times with these 2 super long strips. Okay. So once again, line up this edge with the corner of the base of your basket. Put a dot here at the other corner. Rotate this. So this corner dot is at the corner of the base of my basket. And then I'm going to put another dot at the other corner of the base of my basket. I want to rotate this. Put this corner dot right at that corner of the base of the basket, and then put another dot at the other corner. Rotate it again. Put this dot at the corner and mark that last corner. Okay, I'm going to take my thumb. I'm going to put it at the where the dot is. Fold your paper over. Put my thumb where that dot is. Fold the paper over again. Thumb, fold, and then thumb, and then fold. All right, and now gonna make a nice square with a long tail. So I'm gonna cut the tail off, and then I'm gonna tape right here, and then tape on the inside right there. All right, so that's this one, and my last strip. All right, so remember, we're marking where the corners are on the face of our basket. And once again, this video is going to be saved to our library Facebook page, so you can always go back and reference it. Okay, so thumb where the corner is, and fold. Thumb where the corner is, fold. Thumb where the corner is, fold. And thumb where the corner is, and fold. One more time. All right, so now we're going to make a square. Cut off the tail. Tape it into place. All right, and now I've got my walls, the walls for my basket. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. All right, and we are going to stack them on top of each other like that, so to weave them. Okay, so how are we going to do that though? Take your ruler and lay it along the top of that first horizontal strip. So it is running right along the top of this horizontal strip here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold the papers over it and make a nice crease. The ruler is a nice straight and solid edge for the papers to come up over. And then what you're going to do, take your ruler, lay it along the edge of this next strip right here. All right, and then fold these up and over your ruler, making a nice crease. Okay, so you can see a nice crease, and it's running right along the edge of this side strip here. All right, and then I'm going to lay my ruler, and it's running along the bottom edge of the bottom strip. I'm going to fold these strips up and over the ruler, making a nice solid edge. Yes, okay. And then last one, you lay your ruler. Oh, and if your strips are shifting, shift them back. Like mine are shifting around. And just shift them back. Okay, ruler's on the edge of this edge piece here. So I'm going to fold these strips up and over the ruler, making a nice solid crease. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start weaving the sides of our basket. So take one of your squares and let's do this side first. All right, so we're going to do the top. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to drop this base, or sorry, this side, and drop it to the base of the basket. So once again, you've got your square. You're going to just drop it right here onto the base of your basket. And you're going to have two strips on the outside and one strip on the inside. Okay, so now since this strip is on the outside, this one next to it, it needs to be on the inside. So it's like a crisscross, right? So it has to be the opposite. So again, if your papers are shifting, just shift them back. All right, so this one needs to be on the inside of the wall. This one is going to stay on the outside, opposite, right? And then the one next to it is going to be on the inside of the basket. So I'm going to flip it inside my square wall here. All right, so now I've got two on the inside, one on the outside. So this one and this one are inside the wall of the basket, and this one is on the outside of the wall. All right, so the next strip over here, it needs to be in the opposite. So this one is on the inside, so this one's going to stay on the outside. So this one needs to be inside. So let's flip it inside the walls of the basket. And then we're going to keep this one outside. Next, this one is going to go inside the basket. So I'm flipping it underneath my wall. And then the papers are shifting, and that's okay. Shift them back. Okay, so now I'm going to keep this one on the outside. And then the next one over needs to go on the inside. All right, so let's get it on the inside. Okay, so you just finished the first layer of your wall, or the wall of the basket. So you just finished this layer right here. So now we're going to add the second strip, and then we're going to add the third strip. So here's my second strip. So my square. And I'm going to just slide it in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ones that are outside, and I'm going to go underneath the strip that I just slid in there. All right, so this one's on the outside, right? So I need to put it on the inside. So lift up the square that you just put in, or the wall that you just put in there, and take that outside strip and slide it underneath the wall of the basket. All right, and then this one over here is on the outside. So I'm going to flip it underneath the second wall. All right, now I'm going to take this other one that's on the outside and flip it underneath. And then this other one that's on the outside, I'm going to flip it inside the basket, underneath. Okay, so, okay, now let me turn this so that you can, all right, let's see, this is better. All right, so outside layer, and it needs to go underneath this second horizontal strip. I don't know, push it up like that. Okay, and then we're going to repeat with the third strip. So the other awesome thing about weaving is it's a little repetitive. So if you missed that second one, we're going to do it again. All right, so take your square wall, and then you're just going to plop it in there. All right, so now what you're going to do is, okay, so you notice that this one is on the outside here on this level. So it needs to be on the inside on the third level. Right? So it's on the outside here, and so now it's on the inside here. So the one next to it needs to be, oh, see, this one is underneath this strip. So now it needs to be over or on top of this strip next to it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull it out. And now it's over. So it's over, under, over. So, okay, moving along. So this one, I need it to be, this one I need to be the opposite of this one next to it. So if this one is underneath the third strip, this one next to it needs to be on top of it. Pull it up. So now I have, so now you see it's over, and then it's underneath, and then it's over on the side. Okay. Turn your basket, and we'll do this, the second wall here. Okay, so you can see that this strip of paper is running over the other two strips, the other horizontal strips. So I need to get it underneath. Okay, So now this strip is underneath this third band right here. Okay, and then the one next to it, it needs to come up and over the third band. So, going to pull it out. So now this vertical strip is running over on top of the horizontal band. And then this one needs to go underneath that horizontal band. So it's always the opposite of the strip that's next to it. Okay, I'm going to rotate it again. So this one needs to come out because this vertical strip is underneath two horizontal strips. So pull it out. So now it's above these two horizontals, this one horizontal strip right here. Okay, and then now I'm going to take this vertical strip and I'm going to put it underneath. And I'm going to take this vertical strip and I'm going to bring it forward. Okay, so now you can see that you have one strip that's over the band, the second strip that's underneath the band, and then the third strip here that's over the band again. Okay, so I'm going to take this one and flip it underneath. Take this one, flip it over. The third strip, flip it under. Okay, so for this one, you're going to see. So this strip is underneath the band. This vertical strip is over the band. And this vertical strip is underneath the band. Okay. Hopefully yours is not coming up because hopefully you're not tilting yours for the camera. Okay, so rotate it one more time. And then this one's actually correct. So this one is going over the band. This one is going underneath the band, but this one's wrong. This one needs to go over the band. Okay, let me just fix this because it came apart while I was holding the basket up. Okay, so now what you should have is you should have vertical strips that are alternating, some that are over the band and some that are under the band. And by the band, I mean the wall of the basket. So this one is going over, under, over. And this is going under, then over, and under. And then this one going over, and then under, and then over again, and under, and over, and under. Okay, so now scooch the walls down the sides of your basket if it's loose. So mine's a little loose, so I'm going to push it down. So I'm pushing the band down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off this basket by folding the vertical strips down over the top edge of that third band. And then while I'm doing that, I'm pushing that third band down. So just push this third band down, fold these up and over that third band. And now you're like, oh no, like all of the strips are, some are going this way and some are going into the basket. That's not okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your tape and you're going to tape the flaps down. So I'm going to tape the ones that are on the inside of the basket already. I'm just going to tape them inside the basket. So just taping it inside the basket here. Tape that inside there. Okay. And so now for these guys that are hanging out, that are sticking out of the basket, what you're going to do is just refold. It's called a reverse fold over that crease that you made. Okay, and then tape them down. So I'm taping the ends down inside the basket. I know that can be kind of hard to see, so push it down and then tape inside the basket. And fold this, reverse fold it. There you go. All right, and then to finish off the basket, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tape and I'm just going to tape right along here. So just tape and then fold it over. Now this is going to give it a nice clean edge. You don't have to do it, but I like having that nice clean edge running along the top of my basket. And if you have like washi tape or if you have masking tape, you could add some of that, and then it, you know, give you your own custom edge. And there you go. You have a 3x3 woven paper basket. And okay, so, and like I said before, if we went a little too fast, just don't worry. This video is going to be posted on our library Facebook page, so you can rewatch it there. Okay, and for further reading, for further inspiration, hold on, let me just change this. Okay. Okay, so, oh, actually, I did want to ask you guys. So, you've learned to weave. You've learned to weave some, if you've learned to weave like a little basket, you could also go back and learn to weave like a bigger basket by just adding extra strips. And so my question for you guys is, what will you put in your awesome basket? So let me just change this, and I'm going to share my screen with you again. Okay. Oops. Hold on. Not easy. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So my question for you guys is, what are you guys going to put in your new awesome basket? So you're asking little 3x3 basket here. So I'm going to just launch this and see what you guys are going to put in your awesome baskets. So I'm going to launch this poll and see what you guys are going to put in them. So I've got, ooh, yay, I've got some frog collectors out there. Awesome. And I have some artists out there and something else. What else are you guys putting in here? So some other options were like, I'm putting face masks in my basket right here. And then I also have some stickers in my other basket right here. So I have some stickers in there. So you could put buttons, you could put pens, pencils, So I guess pencils, they kind of fall under art supplies. So I also have a collection of different like greeting cards. So I made a basket for like my greeting cards. And then I also have a bunch of lanyards. So I was going to put lanyards in one basket. All right, so it looks like, okay, so I'm going to end the poll now. I'm going to share it with you. So here are results. And the results are in, ooh, a whopping 47% are going to put something else into your baskets, which is awesome, which shows just how multifunctional these baskets are, that you can put whatever you want in them. Following that is 27% are going to be organizing their art supplies. And next, oh, in a tie, we are putting toys and our rock collection in our baskets. Okay, and then I'm gonna stop sharing. And I'm gonna share with you more weaving inspiration. So you can also make, flags, you can make placemats, you can make round baskets, you can make like more intricate woven baskets. So we did just like a very simple square. You could also weave your baskets diagonally and then make so that the outside looks like diamonds versus here where they look like squares. So my recommendations are to check out these books on weaving. So you could check out Cool Stuff with Paper by Stephanie Turnbull, Bowls and Boxes by Anne Savardi, or Remake It by Tiffany Threadgold. And they are available at your library, Santa Clara County Library, and we are doing hold pickups now. So place your hold, and then we'll send you an email saying your hold is ready, and then you can come to the library and pick it up. The libraries are not open, but you can just drive up and we will bring you the books to your car. And it's called curbside pickup. And we'll put the books in your car, and then you can go home and make some awesome baskets. And then when you're done making your awesome basket, please take a photo and then upload it to our art club gallery, which is right here at this URL right here, sccld.org/summer2020 art club gallery. And while you're on our library website, please sign up for our summer reading 2020 program. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I cannot wait to see your basket. So please upload them and take a picture. Oh, note about your picture. Please make sure that you don't have a face in it, because we just want to see your art. We want to see your beautiful baskets, okay? So no faces. All right. So, oh, this link was also emailed to you in your Zoom invitation as well. Okay. So thank you once again for joining us. There will be another art program next week where we're going to be, we are going to be painting with leaves. And it will be Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Thank you once again. If you're not registered, don't worry, just watch it right here on Facebook Live. Okay, so thank you once again, and have a great summer, everybody.